That's the AIE Podcast After Dark.
After Dark.
Okay.
If you can or as we like to call it, Raid Night.
If you can fight darkness across the entire Earth at all times, because we are global.
Definitely, we call that Raid Night. Okay, I think we're live now. Where's my hangout window?
Look, I don't know what you guys do in your World of Warcrafts, but in Final Fantasy, we keep our clothes on.
Because we need the stats badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the once you get to turn 5+, stuff gets real, yo. Turns 1 through 4, which are like wings, easy sauce. 5, punches in the mouth again and again and again and again and again.
Throat punch.
Okay, everybody at the top of the document. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, chat room, are you ready? Don't bother to answer. I know I won't see you for 30 seconds, but just letting you know we are ready to go. We are recording. We have everyone I think we're going to have today.
Yep.
Oops. Uh-oh. Thanks, Bucks. I haven't put the show together. I won't get the show together until tomorrow morning, maybe afternoon, so plenty of time, but I appreciate it. Okay. Go back to the top. I always forget we do the intro before I play sound effects. So we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2. On this episode of the AIE Podcast,
Warlords has a release date.
Mumble is just around the corner.
Those nomads are ready to smite.
Eve has a contest.
Abelvan and Kelsier from Final Fantasy.
All that and more coming up right now. Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast. All right, welcome to episode number 204 of the podcast celebrating the Aliyah Ayakta-esque gaming community. This is Accuzod. And sitting right over there, we have Makala.
Hey guys, I'm baking some croissants in the guild kitchen.
Ooh, yummy. Unfortunately, this week, Aludra is off on secret assignment. So if you want to know what she's up to, hit her Twitter feed, Aludra_AIE. You'll catch up all the details there. All right, this week we're joined by special guests, Abovan and Kelsier. Abovan, greetings.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Outstanding. Kelsier, welcome aboard.
Hey.
Welcome aboard. That's actually, I guess that's like more like the Star Trek thing, wouldn't it be?
Maybe.
Sorry, wrong game. Going the wrong direction.
No worries.
Now, we'll have airship soon, one day.
All right, so let's go around the world and see what everybody's up to. Makala, what have you been up to in the last week?
Well, game-wise, as you well know, we had a really successful Gary kill the other night. Really clean. And I don't know what happened, but he dropped like 7 heirlooms for us, so that was absolutely amazing.
That was awesome. Very impressive.
Yep. In real life, I got a new tattoo yesterday, so I'll be limping for a few days.
Oh, so you can't show it on camera?
It's on the side of my foot, so maybe next week.
Okay, pictures. Just
Yes.
get a picture of it and we'll post it up for everybody.
How about you? What's
Awesome.
been going on with you?
Oh, man, honestly, just working nonstop and getting back into the grind season where I've got a lot to do before the end of the year. And I always tend to forget that, October is, the end of October, then the entire month of November and December are just shot because people have holidays. We've got that eating holiday where we eat for a week.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Run around, and then run around, buy people presents holidays. So those months are just gone.
They're crazy.
So, so I'm doing the little sleep and lots of work. In fact, I haven't even had time to play any Heroes of the Storm, which is now my second passion now.
That might be
Warcraft.
That might be difficult to do a podcast about it.
Absolutely, and I've been missing out on all this double Valor weekend because I haven't been able to get my characters on.
Ah.
Oof,
So we did have some good
week.
time on the Timeless Isle the other day.
We did. Had a blast.
Good times. Yes.
So, Abavan, it's been several weeks since you've been on. What have you been up to?
Well, playing a lot of Final Fantasy. I've been doing that. I've been trying to play some other games here and there.
You play all the games, don't you?
I play as many games as life allows me, because no one game is perfect. We all know this. But if you play a little bit of everything, eventually you can have tons of fun playing everything. And I try to play as many games with AIE as we can. I have been messing around with Smite a little bit. More on that later. That's a fun game there. I've been playing some Heroes of the Storm. Also fun. I caught a little bit of the International, which is that the Dota 2 championship that they had that was on ESPN, like actual video games on actual TV. Yes.
I knew it was coming. I've been telling everybody at work, that it's coming. Esports are going to be a ESPN 8 the Ocho kind of thing.
Yep. Well, I was able to catch everything on ESPN 3, so or Twitch, but because it was just a feed from Twitch, but it was still very cool. And so I played a little bit of that, and that really is what really got me more hooked on the whole Heroes of the Storm and conversely Smite, which got me into that, which I've been playing with a few other AIE folk in that game as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, that whole battle, 5v5 PvP. I'm not a big fan of PvP in World of Warcraft. It's just not my thing. I don't think the game is really well designed for it. I especially hate when you have to do it as part of quest lines. But I love it in League of Legends. I love it in Heroes of the Storm. I never got to play Dota. I have played Smite. I like Smite as well. But it's very interesting. It's a fun game. It's the kind of video game you can actually watch. It's like watching a football match. So
yes,
definitely into those. My wife, Branquez, is big in it. She watches all the League of Legends tournaments. She knows all the mainline teams. She knows all the players on the teams. She's a fanatic. So
yeah,
that's surprising.
Yeah, the way some people are with college football, Branquez is with League of Legends.
Now we need to figure out a good way to get her a jersey to show her support.
That'd be kind of cool. Actually, I just want to get her into Heroes of the Storm so she can come play with me. That's my dream. But
because games are a lot more fun. Games are more fun when you're playing with friends and family, which is why we're all here.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
And it's also more fun when you make a podcast about the game that you like, right, Akizad?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes it more fun because then you have to pay attention to it. You got to stay focused on it. So that makes it a lot more fun. All right, Kelsey, your turn. What have you been up to in real life, that is?
In real life, I got a new job a month ago, and that's been going really well.
Congrats.
So I've been enjoying that. Thank you.
Great.
Besides that, things have just
Do we get to ask where it is and who for and what you do?
It's
all secret identity kind of stuff?
No, it's not secret identity. It's incredibly boring, though. I'm a front-end developer for a dental e-commerce company. So they only sell to dentists. But it's like an Amazon Marketplace type thing. It's called Net32. I was like, these places exist?
Mind blown. That is so cool.
Yeah. But gaming-wise, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV. And I just started a raid team in there, our second raid team that happens on Saturday, and we had our first run last Saturday, and it went really well.
Yes,
wonderful.
Went excellent.
Yeah, though we did get stomped by the last boss, but everyone does.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, let's dig into some Final Fantasy news in just a moment, but first, let's jump into AIE news.
AIE News.
Just a reminder, our Ventrilo server will be shutting down on September 1st. Please make sure you're moved over to the new Mumble server before then. Information on signing into the Mumble server is on the community discussion section of the forums. You do not need a special login. Go ahead and use your Umami password and log in for that.
Yes, that's the part we like. You don't have to worry about them changing the password on you because it's your password.
Exactly.
Change it when you want to. Okay, for you AIE World of Warcraft players, Blizzard has had quite the presence at Gamescom today. Gamescom today. Words are hard.
They are.
We have a load of information. Now, we have an animated miniseries coming up called The Lords of War. Wow. To fill us in on the backstory and history of some of the Iron Horde, we have a cinematic that is out of this world. I've been hearing about it on Twitter all over the place. Unfortunately, I haven't even had the chance to see it yet. So I can't. As soon as this podcast is over, it's on the page. It's up. I'm ready to click play as soon as we're done the podcast. More importantly, we have a release date for Warlords of Draenor. Mark your calendars. We are looking at November 13th, 2014 for the Dark Portal to open again. Is that a Friday? Friday the 13th?
No, it's not. It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's the Thursday.
How weird.
I need to figure
All
out when I can randomly call in sick that week.
It's well, you know,
Work from home.
Yeah, those stupid
Probably
long
Friday.
incubating colds that take like months to actually make you sick.
Yeah.
That's
I think
work
mine's
from
going to
home
come in on
good.
Friday because patch day never goes well ever.
No, it doesn't.
So Friday will probably be it.
Well, if you play all the
Okay.
games, it's you tend to get sick a lot for every expansion game that comes
I
out.
was always sick. We don't know why.
That's why I work from home.
We have a few gamers in my department at work, and I have a feeling most of us won't be there on that 14th at least.
They should just declare a holiday at work. Just go
should.
with it. You know it's going to happen. So, okay. And
true.
since we have a release date for Warlords, the Crazy Cat Corrallers, if that's a word, McCall
It
made
is.
it up, and I love it. In charge of the craft fair are in full swing in planning mode. Contact Cyrene if you want to add to the chaos, and keep your eyes on the professions area of the AIE Azeroth forums for details as they emerge. Of course, new expansion. Your trade skill caps are going to go up. There's going to be new trade skills, new recipes. Craft fair will definitely help you max out.
Well, what we want to do actually, we're looking at a craft fair beforehand. So everyone is ready to go with the new expansion as it hits. We're having a meeting tomorrow night to kind of figure everything out and what our
Nice,
dates look
okay.
like. Oh yeah, no, which is nice because it's an earlier craft fair and it won't coincide with Thanksgiving, which is always good.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to burn off all the old school mats, before
Exactly.
you have to fill the banks for the new ones.
Yes. And hey, AIE EVE Online, Hoots has decided that his officer crew in EVE Online doesn't work enough. So starting
not, no.
immediately, no, they don't. He's declaring they'll be running a monthly contest. The contest will be entirely made up and different each month, much like EVE, and the rewards will vary, but he's guaranteed you'll have a great time or explode trying. This month's contest is pretty simple. Just be on top of the corporate kill board, and you'll win a Plex. For more information, send in your spies to find out.
All right. And also coming from another area of space in Star Trek Online, Radozato wants to remind all you Star Trekkers that this is Junior Officer Appreciation Weekend. Starting now through Monday, you will earn bonus commendation XP by completing any duty officer assignments. So get those slackers up out of the break room and put them to work.
Yeah, you said duty. And for all you AIEers in Elder Scrolls Online with a large amount of fashion sense, Grimbay needs your help. They're trying to decide on a guild tabard and he'd like suggestions from the masses. So jump in the forums and toss out some ideas.
Okay, Cupcakes. Our old pal Gomez wants to let you know about this great add-on that his partner Mooley created for AIE WildStar. Well, okay, it's actually for anyone in WildStar, but, AIE first, because it's us. It's called Peephole. No, it's not what you think, unfortunately.
Darn it.
It's an add-on that will create a hovering text sign over your teleporter at your house that will tell you where the teleporter will take you. It's great for when you're jumping back on an alt and you haven't played in a while and you might have forgotten where you were in the game.
So it's like
jump in-
GPS?
Kind of like that, yeah. Kind of like, this hole goes to, the other side of the rabbit hole goes to.
Cool.
It's breadcrumbs. It's breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Breadcrumbs.
that's great.
I just love people. It's just hilarious.
Oh, that's a great name. And hey, just before the show, we received a message via camera delivery from those AIE nomads. You might have noticed that they've been taking it easy over the summer, but they're fully preparing to ramp things up again. Weekly games are in full effect. Yesterday was Firefall. Next Thursday, August 21st, will be Smite. We encourage people to start playing through the tutorial before showing up so they can hop right into the action as a group. And then starting September 12th, they'll hop into Final Fantasy. People are reminded that the game offers a 2-week trial version, which could come in convenient during the visit.
All right. And speaking of Final Fantasy, that's what our guests are here to talk about. So let's get back to Abavan and Kelsier to find out what is going on the horribly named Final Fantasy.
Ooh.
There's that Final Fantasy joke again.
Yeah, always.
All right.
It
At
is
least I'm
a
not doing the
shame.
Final Fantasy arg.
Well, before we jump into Final Fantasy, I do. There's one news that I just want to. I just want to touch on real quick. You mentioned the Mumble server and how you use your Umami account. When you log in, make sure you put in your Umami username at AIE-guild.org for your login name. Then it will ask you for that password. I've been seeing a bunch of people, and I've been helping some people out who just put in their account name. You got to put the whole username at AIE-guild.org for Mumble to work properly with your accounts.
Oh, good point. Good point. The post in the forums has got a very nice, detailed description,
Yes.
but words are hard. Nobody wants to read, right? We don't want
Right.
to read. I just want to
Right.
play.
No. Yeah, so that's why you listen to this podcast. So
Yeah,
we're
that's why I'm going to delete all the notes real quick. No, I'm just kidding.
we're just gonna wing it. Woo!
You actually have notes this week. This is awesome.
Yes,
That's wonderful.
Well, we always have something.
They always have notes. I'm just making that up.
So, for those who are on the video stream, you will see a house.
Is it in the middle of the street?
It is in the middle of the street. In fact, it is on Ward 4, plot number 6, and this is the AIE Free Company house. That yes, we have finally saved up enough money, and we purchased this house for ourselves.
Wait,
For the Free Company, we are now
thought you
homeowners
said it
in
was
Final
free.
Fantasy. Well,
you just
free
said it
company.
was free.
Free company. Well, it's free to you. You
The
don't.
free company house, right? You
Yes.
have a company house. It was free.
Well, it's free for you. I mean, if you start playing the game, the house is already here for you.
Yeah, now's the time to play because all the annoying infomercials are over because you've already bought the house.
Yes. So,
Exactly.
So.
And you've dealt with the mortgage people.
Yes. Well,
The mortgage people.
we
You have
pay.
no idea.
Well, we pay for the money. We pay for the house all up front, so it's all ours.
Oh,
Ours.
good.
Nice.
There's no
All right, so
tax.
tell us about the house. What's it like?
Well, here is the house. It's a little nighttime here, so we got some nice little lights going here. We have Kelsey here dancing in front of the house for us.
Nice. Thank you.
I do what I have to.
So what we have here is the house. This is a large house. Houses come in 3 different sizes: small, medium, large. We were able to save up enough money to get the large house, so we're very happy about that, and we're able to strike the deal. So let me just walk over towards the house now.
Yeah, it was 40 million gil, which is the in-game currency.
And that's a
it's
lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
How do we earn that currency, just out of curiosity's sake?
It's doing quests, killing monsters, selling junk.
Yep.
Lots of
it's
mailbox dancing.
Yeah, it's just like gold in other games or credits. The funny thing that Eve uses.
Yeah,
So-
don't understand why it's called gill. Aren't those things you find on a fish?
Well, those are 2 wells. This is 1 L.
Oh, big difference. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
And that's just like the, Final Fantasy is about common themes. That's what ties all the games together. And Gil is the common currency.
Ah, okay.
So that and classes and various themes. So
As good as any other text, I guess, or any other name.
yeah, you can call monkey legs, as far as I care. It's still money.
Right.
So
I always
here's the
like the
house.
credits.
The house is very, it's a near blank slate, and you customize everything. Like all these little stumps we have around, those are all, things we place. The little, get a better shot there. The little horse carriage there is something we placed there. The entrance is something we placed, and the first feature we have here is the chocobo stable. So your chocobo is your little companion. It's a mount, and it is also someone that you can call into battle and fight for you. And what you can do is you can stable your chocobo here, and when it's stabled, you can go up to it and train your chocobo and give you like additional experience, because it has its own experience bar just like you would.
Oh, great.
But then other people can also train your chocobo as well. They just have to feed it a snack, and then it becomes more powerful.
So it has experience, which means it can reach some sort of experience cap, so it can become cap stabled, right?
Oh, wait,
Good.
really? You went there?
All right. Sorry.
It's true.
It was a long way to go for that joke. I apologize.
It was.
And I have not done this yet, but you can also breed chocobos as well. I have not done this yet, so I can't comment too much other than it exists.
It does?
This
Oh, sorry.
this
yeah.
is a video game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It is safe. It's pretty much a cutscene. The next thing you have, take that how you will. The next thing we have over here is the garden plot. So there's also gardening in this game. You can we have certain people who take care of this stuff, and they you have to get the soil, you have to get the seeds, and you have to tend to your plants, and then they grow into things. But then you also have cross pollination of other plants who grow next to each other can create special seeds or to get special items. And there goes Catlin, the person who's taking care of this for us. Big shout out to Catlin for us, who is our garden manager.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes, big shout out for taking care of that stuff, because I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I looked over the notes and the some of the websites dedicated to gardening. It's complex, and I don't understand it.
Sounds like me in real gardening.
Yeah, it's almost as complicated as real gardening. You got to fertilize it, you got to water it, you have to you have to be aware of how you arrange the plants in the garden so they don't crossbreed like you don't want them to. It's insane.
Oh wow!
So this is like a sim game now.
Basically.
Parts of it.
Sim garden. Okay.
Other things in the tour, we have our striking dummy, a little target dummy to test out your damage. We have a little aetheryte crystal for quick returns.
Yeah, aetheryte crystals in the game are used to teleport around the game world.
Gotcha.
And you can buy a little one for your house that lets you just return to it. Yep.
So you teleport back to your house, and can you teleport from your house to other places in game, or is it only to a
you
or something like that?
You actually get a power that lets you access the aetheryte network. So basically, wherever you are in the world, you can, if you've been to an aetheryte, you can just teleport to it using that power. It costs a little bit of gil, but not too much, especially if you're going to the house.
Like the taxis in WoW, but without all the waiting and flying.
Yep.
Nice.
Right, and
Very
you can go to any location from anywhere your unlocked locations from anywhere. So you don't have to find the flight point to fly to wherever. You can just say, I want to go be way over there, and you're there.
Yeah, I always like that in the games that do that, because as pretty as it is flying every single inch of the way from one land to the other, it gets old when you want to get someplace. So I love
or especially when you have to fly across the entire continent. It's like, can I just pay 400 gil in this case and just teleport there? It's a lot more convenient.
Okay. This is the back of the house here. We have a nice little waterfall behind us and a river, which we can use for fishing. And we made a nice little fishing spot, a little campfire, some stumps there. So you can have a little fishing party out here.
Visually,
you have
it's gorgeous.
s'mores?
Ooh.
You can go to the store and buy s'mores, and then you can go fishing.
Can you sit in front of the campfire and make s'mores? So.
Yes, virtual s'mores, not so much. We have a little
that's the need.
Little mailbox with a little stuffed Moogle on top of it, and we have an entrance, which we will go in.
That Moogle may have been murdered for its. No, I'm just kidding.
Many bosses tried to give us this information.
Well,
for those of you listening to the audio podcast, you may want to jump into the website, theaipodcast.com, and check out the video. This is a really beautiful
really
house.
Cool looking, yeah.
All right, so this was a blank slate, Fist, one of our another officers, he's a person in charge of decorating the house, gathering up things and coordinate everything, and he's doing a superb job, as everyone can see. In fact, he is right there. I'm gonna wave to him. Wave. There's both of us cheering and waving.
So if I just walked in, kicked my shoes and socks off in the middle of the living room floor, would he yell at me?
No.
Okay, good.
No,
that's what we have these NPCs for.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And apparently my face is not where it should be. Yeah, okay. Well,
is your face falling off again?
Well, anyway, so here we have we have our vendors. We are able to purchase some vendors. One's over here, and there's a couple over here.
Wait a minute, you had to buy the vendors?
Yes, you can buy vendors to actually be in your house. So
But
that's
you still have to pay them for the stuff that they sell.
you buy
just
them, and then they
in-game.
have stuff to sell.
Okay.
Yeah, the in-game lore is like you buy a contract that for them to be in your house, and then they'll sell stuff for you.
Right.
Well, they should just give me stuff if I'm paying them to be in the house.
Yeah.
Well,
You think so?
but
Yeah.
but, the,
Give
you
that's
can also
them
sell
somehow.
them stuff to get rid of junk in your stuff. Which I want to get rid of Bat Fang.
Yeah, you heard it right. Abovan is getting junk out of his trunk.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yes. Well, look at this. It's all junk.
His junk is and stuff. I'm not sure what that means.
I got some pets.
Maybe
I
he
can't
needs
get
that
rid of.
peephole hat on.
We do have our free company vault over here, which is like our little bank. We do have our little summoning bell, which you can summon your retainer, which will give you access to your personal bank as well as the market, which is like the auction house.
Okay.
So yeah, we have those. We have crafting stations, and this is something that's unique to housing. Now, they don't exist elsewhere, but you can get additional bonuses for crafting at the different crafting materials. So there's actually an advantage to crafting in the house, in the free company house, than say like in the major cities or elsewhere.
That looks a lot more organized than my crafting table, though. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, we have like little sections of the house dedicated for certain facilities. We have a
Yeah,
nice
if
little-
McCollum moved in, she would totally take over crafting. You couldn't
I
stop her.
yeah.
the crafting in this game is a lot of fun. It's not just click and make an item. You actually have to work to make the item.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things about the game is like, so you can change your weapon and then you change your class, not your character, and so like being a weaver or a cook, you actually change to that class. It's not just like a trade skill on the side of the character. It's neat.
And how does it work with, since we do have a house, does the crafting benefit our environment?
Yes.
Like, can you craft some curtains or build a
Right,
nice
can you
end
craft
table?
stuff for the house?
Oh, like these items on the wall here, and then things you see here. Yes, you can totally make those. In fact, I do not have
In fact,
everything
all
here,
of it is crafted.
but the round table here, you can make firewood, a classical window. You can change the windows, some stumps, arch windows. This is stuff that I can make. I'm not a master crafter. We have other people who are. Let's go over to the high-level stuff here.
Yeah, for anybody whose parents think video games are too violent, have them watch this show. And learn about spending hours crafting wall decorations.
This is where we have cooking, and let's go downstairs to the basement, which was newly renovated. So we have a nice little dance floor action going here.
You guys had to get a contractor in and do all that. Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Pain. Yep.
Yep.
And go down to the back side of the wall. This wall here is something else we put in. This was a big blank slate. We have all the paintings of all the faction leaders. Then another fancy disco wall and a gigantic dragon emblem thing.
Mouth.
Dragon mouth.
Impressive. Wow.
And then that's the basement. And a nice little seats and table here. If you want to, you can take a seat. Right up. And then I'm going to hop off, and then I'm going to run back around. There's a map of the game. That's the same map if you zoom all the way out. If you hit M and zoom all the way out, it's the same map. So we're going to go
By the way,
upstairs now.
not to push you along, but we're getting close on time, and we haven't talked about any of the other actual guild news for Final Fantasy.
Oh, well, let's
we
talk
have to
about that while
speed
I
through the
continue.
tour.
Well, let me give one more thing here. We did have the Remembrance Day, and we did have a procession, and we did have a little ceremony, and we lit the in-game candle here. So we have and we moved the candle here. So we actually have an eternal candle for the ones that have lost that we have lost through AIE and the AIE extended family. So we do have
That's
a little
beautiful.
memorial in the free company house here that we have to remember the ones that we have lost throughout the years.
That's beautiful.
All right. So other things happening in the within AIE and Final Fantasy. We have a couple weekly events that we've been doing each week. One thing we've been doing is We have a couple of raid teams. We have some serious ones, and we have some not so serious ones. So it doesn't matter what your gaming style is. If you want to see the multiple people content in the end game, we have a group for you. So first off, every Tuesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, we do casual raiding, which is just 8 people or less. We get together and we say, all right, what's the next thing on your hit list to do? Is it a raiding thing? Is it gear gathering? Do you need something for your relic weapon? Do we have some people to run the Crystal Tower, which is like the LFR? And we just do whatever people can do as a group. We just go do it and have a good time doing it. No experience necessary. You just have to have the level, and even if it says, well, I need to do XYZ to unlock this, we'll say, okay, let's unlock it.
So it's really just show up and we'll do something fun.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Love it.
For people looking for more structured raiding, to run the Binding Coil of Bahamut and the other extreme modes, we have 2 raid teams now. One is a Tuesday-Thursday team. That is my Big Fat Chocobo, I think it's called.
What a great name.
Grand Theft Chocobo. Yeah.
Grand Theft Chocobo. Okay, whatever. It's still funny. It has to do with chocobos, and it's fun. All right, and that's a team that's ran by Watufala, which I was able to hang out with at Nerdtacular this year, and it's an 8-man team, and we've just been going in. They run Tuesday, Thursdays at 8 o'clock on Eastern Time. And I've had the pleasure of running with them a few times, and they're a lot of fun. There's also a Saturday team run by Kelsier, and I'll let you talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, if you want a raid team at a time, you can play in raid. You have to make it yourself, apparently. If there's anything I've learned about MMOs, so I started that one to give an alternate time for people that can't play as much during the week, and I'd say we're kind of like mid, like casual / well, at least we want to try to be hardcore. And yeah, we're just running once a week, but so far it's been going great.
Good times.
Yeah.
And it's the starting rating content is very accessible. I mean, it's not complicated. You just have to pretty much show up and avoid not disconnecting. I mean, it's very accessible.
Yeah,
but
started partially dressed and you're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it as you play through the game, as you're loving your character, it teaches us certain mechanics. But as you go through the rating, when games change a little bit when you get to the end game stuff, that teaches you basic mechanics until then when you get to the later wings, it puts everything together for you, and then so you build on what you already learned in the previous wings. So it's very accessible for everybody.
And if anyone out there has been looking for a game that's harder, I know one reason people were really excited about WildStar. Final Fantasy XIV gets pretty hard. Like even the last the first hardcore raid is still really challenging. Like my raid team on Saturday is stuck on the last boss of that, and we're getting stomped by it pretty hard. But so if you're looking for a game with a challenge in it, especially after you get to the end game, you should look Final Fantasy XIV up.
Wonderful.
So is it as much as a gear check or is it a skill check?
Definitely skill check, because you have to position the mob correctly. You have to endure her damage. So I guess it's slightly gear check, but we're all fairly geared for it, and it's still just murdering us because you have to be in the right place at the right time, be aware of your surroundings, see what's being cast on you. So
well, that's the kind of challenge I like.
Zod, you're muted.
The funny thing was I was going to unmute myself to say that. So
Yeah.
that was funny. You guys missed some brilliant commentary there. I'll try to recreate it. No, I was saying that that's the kind of challenge I like in a game. I don't like where it's a gear check as much because you can only do so much to get gear. The RNG
Right.
gods will only be so nice to you. But when you can learn and get better and get the skill of doing the dance and beating a boss, to me that's the way a game should be hard.
Right.
Yeah, and this fight in particular is very much that. It's not like, oh, just smash on her harder, that'll kill her. Like, you gotta, like, she casts something that basically if you're not paying attention, the entire raid gets kind of wiped. So it's definitely challenging, and it's definitely it's been really interesting to do.
All right. One more house feature I just want to show everybody here is you can now purchase your own little room that every person in the free company can decorate how they want.
Oh, wow. Great.
So I'm going to not show you mine because mine looks like puke. And I am
Wow.
going to...
Is there a party?
Interesting decorating idea.
Yeah, it's...
All right.
Well, I'm colorblind and also not... coordinated enough to do it myself. So I'm going to show off another Free Company's mate's room here. This is a little room we get to work with here. This is Samantha Winchester.
Oh, beautiful.
So we have a little spa in here, a lot of ivy on the walls, some books. Over here, a little sitting area.
I guess
and this is all
some
stuff.
video games. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I say some people a video game is a home away from home, so that just makes perfect sense.
Makes them very, very relaxing.
Yep. Yeah, and if you want to like go crazy with housing, this game will do it for you.
Let you do it. So, other game news that's been happening in Final Fantasy Land here is there's now a 14-day trial that you can just say, poof, I want to check the game out.
Ooh.
So you can do exactly that. So you can just try it, no credit card, just create an account, 14 days. You can play through the game. You can play through every class up to level 20.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, that's all on one character, because your character is not bound to a particular class. Well, after a level 10.
Right. You can't join a free company, but you can join chat channels, and we actually have a chat channel dedicated for people coming in with the trials or people coming in, such as the Nomads in a couple weeks. We actually have a chat channel. It's called a link shell, and we have one set aside that everybody in the free company is in. So if you do wish to play with us, and you have a free account, you can still join in and be able to play with AIE folk, even though you're not going to have the AIE tag because the trial just won't let you join the free company.
Right.
Gotcha.
There's
And
also
that's September 12th is when Nomads are joining, right?
right.
Yes.
If you want to play
I'm
early,
going to be there.
if we'll let you play early, come on in. We love to see you. If you want to go afterwards, we'll love to see you then. You want to be with a bunch of Nomads playing, you can do that too. And
Now, are the Nomads all going to join in the AI guild, or they have their own Nomad guild, or are they all just going to be free players? Or do you have any idea? Maybe we should ask.
they're probably going to be free players. I'm assuming since the whole point of Nomads is for people to go around and try other games. They're probably not, and the trial account will not let you create or join a guild or a free company. So we've already established a link shell that's going to have both everybody in the free company in it, as well as any of the Nomads or anybody else in the AIE gaming community that wants to hang out with AIE folk and be able to communicate with AIE folk, so we can all get together there. All right?
Gotcha. Makala, make sure to jab Lotwook with your knitting needles. Make sure he's on the show for that time period so we can
Oh, I certainly will.
talk about the Nomads going in.
All right.
Jab, what?
The next thing we
Knitting
have,
needles.
I know. You can equip a knitting needle in Final Fantasy XIV as, it's technically in the weapon slot, and I think you can actually go and stab someone with it. But you're technically a crafting class at that point.
the
That's
Silver
hilarious.
Needle does have 9 physical damage. Auto attack is 8.4 and a 2.8 delay, so there is stats. I want to recommend it.
I actually, like there'll be these mobs that'll appear out in the wild that you can grant special rewards. And I was a miner at the time when one appeared, and I just whacked it with my whining pick and got a small amount of reward from it. That was kind of
wow.
satisfying.
Something else we have is to refer a friend. So let's say you check the game out on the 14-day trial, and you say, I like this game. I'm actually going to hand over my credit card to some wonderful clerk or over the internet and purchase the game and start playing. Well, if you do refer a friend, it's a standard. The recruiter and the recruitee both get rewards for playing together. So first off, the recruiter and the recruitee both get an item that gives you 25% extra experience for your jobs under level 20. Oh, I'm sorry, under 25. It's 20% for under level 25. The recruiter also gets a Aetheryte pendulum, which allows them to teleport to a crystal closest to anyone that has new adventurer status. So both your new friend or if you have a group of new friends, you can add them to your friends list and say teleport, and you'll go to the closest teleport location to that person, and that will come to you at no cost. So it's like a free. So it's like a free teleport. And once the recruitee pays for 90 days of game time, the recruiter then gets a new chocobo mount, which is a 2-person mount, and it has a unique barding on it.
Gosh. Hey, not to interrupt there, but we have an echo coming in. I'm not sure if somebody has their speakers up, but just to let you know.
Okay.
Maybe because I'm recording from a canyon.
Are you recording from a canyon? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Testing. I am in a canyon. I apologize.
Okay, sorry. No.
Yeah, so you do get it's a 2-person chocobo that's a really big chocobo with unique barding and like white frill on its feathers and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Hey guys, Sybil wanted to know if there was a Mac client or is it PC only?
Well, it's not technically PC only. It's not for Mac, but you can get it for the PS3 and the PS4. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, but don't I need a keyboard? But you actually don't. Like I use a PS cable. I use a PS4 controller on my PC. And you can actually raid with it just as well. They really thought out the interface so you can do It can do controllers really well. So if you have a PS4,
let Kefis know that because he plays all of his games with controllers and he's really good.
yeah, it's awesome. Like it's funny because I wouldn't have considered myself a controller kind of guy, but then I tried it with this game and fell in love with it. It's actually one of the main draws for me because it's just really intuitive how they set it up. So yeah, if you have a PS3 or PS4, you can definitely play it.
Wonderful, thanks.
Nice.
You can also play. Well, in the future, they have announced they're working on the Mac client. So if you do want to play this on a Mac, that's soon.
Okay.
Though I think that's soon in Blizzard soon. So, but yeah. Also, the Moonfire event Moonfire Fair, excuse me, event just started. So if you log in, you can get pretty easy to get. Like you can get like a kimono and a bunch of other stuff, and learn a new dance, which I'm probably distracting from. But if you look on Abovan's camera, you can see a character doing it. So it's just one of the things they seem to like to do is release new dances every so often. So you can get that here. The whole fair is kind of around like those bomb creatures from Final Fantasy. So that's exciting.
Great.
This is a video game, right? You actually kill things in it?
Sometimes if you feel like it.
Is that what the raids are for?
Yeah.
Well, I've been working on my relic, and that has me killing hundreds upon hundreds of bad guys all over the game, special quests, dungeons. So, yes, if you need violence, this game can provide.
All
Good.
right, something
Excellent.
for everybody.
Yep. Yeah, there's lots of violence.
And hey, evidently a bomb dance. So that sounds violent.
Yep.
How do you learn the bomb dance?
It's actually from this event. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. Yeah, so like the whole Moonfire Fair thing is around like the bomb creature for some reason, and you can actually learn a dance that's called the bomb dance in it.
That's actually a really good idea. I mean, I know it's
Yeah.
silly, dancing in game, but to learn a new dance, maybe some other games should pick that concept up.
That sounds like a great idea.
Well, I have learned a few dances. One of my favorite dances of all of MMOs is this dance right here. I love this dance. This is the Manderville.
Sounds like it looks like a nana and a nana dance.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
There's a whole quest line in this game that you get this this dance from. That is, the quest line solely exists as it's not difficult. There's very little fighting. It's mostly cinematics, but it's all there just supposed to be a silly quest line with silly characters. It feels like a Saturday morning cartoon, and it's
Fun.
it's
Love
just.
that.
And one of the quest rewards from doing that, no gear, but you get this dance.
Oh wow, that's
awesome.
a great idea.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like he kind of joked that there's like, do you actually fight in this game? But there is a lot of like one thing I really like about it is that there's a lot of varied content. It's not like just combat or just crafting or just this or that. Like they just put in weird stuff sometimes, like that quest line that with the dance.
Something to
That'll
keep
sound
everybody
fun.
interested.
Exactly.
Okay, and last, I think you guys have a patch coming out.
Soon we have a mini patch coming through soon, which is like almost like a little revision thing. But one of the things that we believe that we have out now is personal housing. What I showed you before was a personal room. We're saying we're going to be getting personal housing soon. I do not have any more details than we might be getting personal housings, and it's going to be expensive.
Of course.
And that's a mini patch.
Yes.
That's a mini.
great.
And then the next big patch, 2.4, because again, A Realm Reborn, everything starts with 2 point whatevers.
Right.
This is not an expansion. This is just a patch, but we're getting a new class and a new job in that patch.
Mm-hmm.
It's
wow.
it's a rogue, and then the job that he graduates into, or she graduates into, is a ninja.
Ah,
Okay,
so like a
what's the difference
specialist in D&D.
Right. Well, like right now, I'm a black mage, but my original class is a thermomage, or thermitage.
It's
Pronunciation
a hard
me no
word.
good.
That's a really hard word to say.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So that's why I like being a black mage, and that's why we also use acronyms for everything. Like it's actually THM, is
So you really like being a BM?
a BLM.
Zod.
BM. Okay. Just
Yeah,
making
see?
sure.
Zod.
No, it's hidden. You can't see it.
Sorry, I'm 16.
I guess.
Yeah, well, we all wish we were 16 at times.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
no.
BLM, and these are all the different acronyms.
BLM. Okay.
Right, Paladin is PLD, White Mage is WHM, and so forth.
I know. So, what's the difference between a class and a job?
So when you
Go
get when you start the game, or when you start a class, or when you start at level 1, you're a class. So like my main is a paladin right now. He started as the gladiator class. Then at level 30, after you kind of complete your storyline as a gladiator, you start the quest line for the paladin in the case of gladiator, and you get this job crystal that you can equip that turns you from a gladiator into a paladin, and gives you a pretty big stat boost and new abilities and stuff like that. So that happens for all the combat classes. So in the case of a rogue, you start as a rogue, and then at level 30, when you finish the rogue storyline, you can start the quest line to get the job crystal for ninja.
Cool.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Your
this,
character can be a paladin and a rogue and a ninja and
Yep.
all that, right?
How about a robot?
No robots yet, though there are robots yet you can fight. So one day.
Robot would be awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, and you can. One of your mounts is a Magitech armor, which is a gigantic robot that you get to sit in, and you get some fake weapons that don't do any damage. They're just fun.
Oh, that's still fun though.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah, and there is one dungeon which you do have to mount up and waylace to a bunch of enemies. It's not challenging. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the fun part of the dungeon.
I had a bad day at work. Let me do this real quick. Dungeon.
Yes.
Murder everyone in a tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you do.
Right. But as I said here, for those watching the video stream, all these little gear sets here are each different classes here. My one character are all of these.
That's really impressive.
There are some people that have max level on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Those are very impressive.
Yeah.
Very, very dedicated. Yeah, dedicated.
Yes.
Have time to play all things, which would be amazing.
Yep.
Have time on their hands. Yep. That's
Yes.
why. Okay, before we close the show, would you tell people how to find you guys if they want to join AIE? How do they join the guild? How do they find you? What server you on? Things like that.
Well, first off, there's a little short link we have. It's aie-guild.info/ffxiv. That will take you to the wiki page that tells you how to join. So I'll give you everything you need there. That will tell us our server, which is Gilgamesh. It will have you links to Yamami, which is where you go to apply your characters. It will tell you about the guild policies, which is pretty much be excellent to each other.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the standard AIE policies, naming policies, chat policies, they still apply.
Excellent.
Good.
If you'd be so kind, would you put that link in the show notes so that people
I would be happy to.
may not have thought to write that down? We can check the show notes and get it again because I know I'm going to need it here soon.
Most definitely.
And just like everything else, Yamami is your one-stop shop for getting into any AIE game, and they're all fun.
Yeah, and if you have any reservations because the Final Fantasy name is attached to it, like I don't really like Final Fantasy 13, this game is probably the least Final Fantasy game that's been made in a long time. So if you don't like Final Fantasy but like really good MMOs, you should give it a try.
Sounds like it's the game for you then.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
For
I've
us
actually
old people,
only-
for us
Yeah, I've
old
actually-
people who grew up with Final Fantasy, this reminds me of the Final Fantasies I grew up with, like in the like. I remember having Final Fantasy 1 back in the day on my old Nintendo. On my old NES, I had that, but this is more similar to like Final Fantasy 4 or 6 or 2 and 3 if you have it. If you remember on the old Nintendo systems and Super Nintendo 2 and 3, it's more similar to
I
those
think he's
games.
just making up numbers now.
He is, yeah.
Probably. And I've only ever played the Final Fantasy MMOs and Final Fantasy Tactics, so you don't have to be a Final Fantasy buff to like these games.
Good, because
But
I've
this
never
game-
actually seen any of the Final Fantasy anythings.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I've
Oh.
never
Because I
played.
hadn't seen the first 13.
I know I got denied a geek card when I was younger because I didn't play Final
No.
Fantasy 7,
Hey.
and I'm like,
Oh,
We're all different kind of geeks, though. It's okay.
yeah. Well, and now I think about it, it's like now I'm an officer in a guild in a game, so I think I've pretty much earned that.
You've earned it back, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm a programmer.
Yeah, so you have some good things going for you there.
Yep.
Well, if you ever want to lose like a month of weekends, come and hang out with me. I do own every numbered Final Fantasy out there. So,
awesome. Okay, I'm going to call that a show for this week. Chat room, it is time for you to begin suggesting show titles. Abavan and Kalir, it's your chore, your job, your chore, your final, I guess not fantasy. Really.
Fantasy?
It's not really fantasy. Yeah, to choose this week's show title and the lucky show title submittee from the suggestions made in the chat room. But while they do that, because they're like 30 seconds behind us, we're going to go ahead and ask you guys, where can people find you on the internet? Abavan, we'll start with you.
well, I can be found everywhere and anywhere on the internet because I hang out in a lot of places. But if you find Abovan, such as on Twitter at Abovan, in-game Abovan, in AIE Abovan, that's probably me.
I sense a theme.
Yes.
Definitely.
So yeah, just
Kelsey, where?
find an Abovan. That's probably me.
Okay, Kelsey, where can people find you on the web?
On Twitter, you can find me at Kelsier_AIE. I haven't been posting that much because my new job, it's a lot harder to be on Twitter. But
You actually have to work at work? Oh, man.
Yeah, it's weird. At my last job, I didn't have to work as hard, but now I do. Also, my screen is like facing the entire office rather than, so it's like.
Oh, I hate that.
See, mine does too, but part of my job is looking at that stuff, so I can get away with it.
Yeah, and in my last job, I was monitoring social media, so I could get away with it a little better, but not anymore. Now I'm just a programmer.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I do for a living. That's a good job.
No, I know, it's great. I like it way better, but it's harder to find an excuse to be on Twitter. But you can find me there. You can find me as Kelsier on the forums and in Final Fantasy. So yeah, say hi.
All right, and if you have any questions or comments about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is AIE Podcast. Zod is at AccuZod. Eludra, the lovely absent Eludra, is, of course, at Eludra_AIE. And I am at Cyberwave. We record live with video every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on the website, theaiepodcast.com. And, of course, our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
All right, and now it's time to play the great AIE member segments we received this week, which includes Ask a Magus, or Ask a Magus. I'm never saying that correctly. I know I'm not. Magus, Mugus. Ask him, Magus. He says it. I listen to it every single week, and I know he says it, and my brain just won't hold it in there. Buxley's Journal, and This Week in AIEU. Now, of course, being the Summer Doldrums, I think some of our member segment creators have taken a bit of a break here and there, so we could use some more. So if you've ever had an idea for a wild and crazy segment related to anything that AIE is in, not just World of Warcraft, which tends to be the big one, but any of these games, keep it under 90 seconds, but send it in to us at the address McCullough just mentioned, podcast@aie-guild.org. We'd love to have more segments.
Yes, please.
And so here we go. And that's where I'm going to insert all the segments. And then coming back from the segments, we'll say, next week we'll be talking to that paranoid group in Eve. So until then, AIE, this is AccuZod.
This is McCullough.
And this has been the AIE Podcast. Okay, that's enough of that, I think. Okay.
Enough of that.
That's enough of that.
Enough of that nonsense.
All right, chat room, we need a show title.
You have a job. So we do have some really good ones, and I know someone submitted one earlier, so we need to resubmit that.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
right.
doesn't count.
Yep.
Got to do it at the end. It doesn't count, so you got to resubmit it.
So right now we have Housing, Dancing, Gardens, and Violence.
Cute.
We also have Home Sweet Home. Final Fantasy. If you like violence, they have that too. Seriously, they got a house. And House Party with hot tubs and dance floors.
That's awesome.
All right.
Can we match two of them
Party
together?
Yeah, why not?
Absolutely.
Ho-
Hey,
house
you guys
party
are in
with
charge.
hot- House party with hot tubs and violence.
Mm.
Oh.
All right. So, wow, that's a combination submission there by Kazric, Lotwook, and Sybil.
I like it.
All right.
Everybody's a winner. Everybody gets a trophy.
Everyone's a winner. You win a house. You win a show title. You win a show title. Hold on, so I got to type all those in. What?
And I guess here is a
Sybil.
bonus content for the people on the live stream in the chat room. The Remembrance Day was really important. It was really special for me this year. For those who know what I went through, but so that this little candle here, is kind of significant for me.
Yeah.
And everybody was here for that, and everybody in AIE, you guys are awesome. You guys are great support. Thank you guys. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, check the forums. It's there.
Yeah, Pretty devastating, but you guys are handling it beautifully, and it's a wonderful piece of remembrance.
Yeah, and many of you folks got to meet my wife this year at Snowbird. So
And she's
very cool.
delightful, and plays a mean game of Munchkin for somebody who was her first game.
Yes.
God, I can't believe we stayed up that late playing.
Yes, what was it, 3 a.m. Mountain Time?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, my new
Okay,
job
I'm
started. My new job started the day before that. It's like the week of Nerdtacular, so I wasn't able to make it. I was like,
Yeah.
plane ticket
Hi,
down
I'm
the
starting
toilet.
tomorrow. I need a week off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's time for us to say farewell to the chat room, guys. Thank you for tuning in and watching every week like you do. We love you, and we will see you next time.
All right, and I gotta